It is Friday and we are back. We are back with a Fashion Friday. All your cycling fashion tips, everything sartorial elegance on the bike.
I believe I might be of service.
Because as you know, bike riding is nothing to do with performance. It is completely about how you look. And I've got a good one for you today, guys. I want to talk about how to look good when you are riding in the rain. So for those of you new to the channel, this is our weekly interlude where we have a fun look at cycling fashion. Now, if that's something that interests you, make sure to hit that sub button and hit the thumbs up on the video. I'd love to push this channel up towards 30K. Let's try and do that this year. So today we have a good one. I want to talk about how to look good when you are riding in the wet weather. Contrary to what YouTube and GCN will probably have you believe, riding in the wet weather for many of us is not riding around UK lanes with horse shit flying in our faces. For many of us, riding in the wet weather is actually some of the hottest and most humid weather you will ride in all year. And it also looks shit. So today we are gonna sparkle that all up and I'm gonna give you 4 tips on how to look good in the wet weather, and then we're just gonna go scattergun, and then I want you guys to comment, because there is no fun in fashion unless I get your opinion as well. So my first tip is to get a good hard shell jacket that potentially is part of a collaboration. Let me explain. You're really faced with 2 choices as a cyclist with jackets. You've got the hard shell ones and the soft shell ones. Now the soft shell ones are the ones more for like 3, 4, 5 degrees, quite wintry conditions and like your passing showers type stuff. I talked about that kind of jacket in the dressing for winter thing. Now, that's not wet weather. Wet weather is it's outside and it's going to be the whole time you are out there. And for that, you need the full waterproof, okay? You need the hard shell jacket. Now, this is something that's really hard to get right because it's very easy to turn that jacket selection into a garbage bag.
Yes, I love trash.
And it's really hard to choose the right one because even a lot of the main brands do their main rain jacket and it can still be a little bit garbage baggy. But there's one thing I've found that most of the sort of relevant brands will do that can be really valuable. And that is they collaborate with another waterproof partner. Let me show you online. So this is a jacket from Peddler, which is collaborated with Aquatech. Now, if you can have a bit of a look down through here, it's using this Aquatech technology. So essentially, they are outsourcing this concept. And you can see, it's really cool, it's really fitted, it looks really sick. Now, you probably also have seen this collaborations going on at the moment. This is a more of a serious, deeper winter type thing, but it's the Gore-Tex version of the Rapha one. And they're basically outsourcing. Yes, look at this. So there you go. They're really outsourcing that waterproofing technology to guys who know how to do it really well. Now, where does this go wrong? I don't want to always be picking on you, Pearl Azumi, but okay, here is a non-collaboration jacket. Now, yeah, it's half the price of the other jackets. I completely understand that, but we're not here to talk about anything realistic like that. We're here to talk about sartorial elegance, and this looks slop.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
It's got sleeves that zip out, like that's just gonna flap all over the place. No, completely out. There's 2 things that the Peddler and the Rapha jacket did really, really well, which makes the whole look a lot better, a lot cleaner. And the first is just under the arm. They've tidied that up and they've actually kind of streamlined that back in because that's where you really get the garbage bagginess, you know? You've all seen that kind of flappiness in here, back to the old sort of putting a plastic bag over your jersey type thing when they were descending off the tour. No, okay? So that's a really good area. The other is a bit of reflective paneling. And yeah, haters are gonna hate me for this, but I'm sorry, black jackets just look better. Insert comments below about dangerous things. Just go put lights on your bike, but a black jacket with some nice reflective paneling.
It's for you, beautiful.
Tip number 2 is yes, you can wear your cycling hat. like everything, ladies and gentlemen, there are many pitfalls, and there are some ways to get this look to be beautiful. And so much of it comes down to the interface between the hat, the helmet, and the sunglasses. Let me explain here. So the very common thing that can happen when you do start running the cycling hat in this scenario is the helmet slides back, okay? Helmet slides back, exposing this gap between the cycling cap and the helmet, and then the sunglass itself kind of comes down. So you just have this massive expanse of forehead appearing. That is not what you want. What you want is just this clean interface of helmet to hat to sunglasses. Ideally with very little, if no, gaps. Now peak down at all times, unless you are off the front at E3 Harold Becker or solo. That's the only time you are allowed to peak up. Oh yeah, and as part of this, no clear lens pedo glasses, okay? I'm sorry, but all lenses must have a tint of some variety. I actually don't care if you can't see out. In the perfect world, you're running just completely black sunglasses and they just completely block everything out and you can't see anything. It looks amazing. But if you desperately do want to actually be able to see something, have a quick look at the way that Egan Bernal was finishing some of those stages at the Giro. Beautiful, just have the interface down perfectly. As a general rule, a white helmet, potentially an aero helmet, a black cycling cap, cycling sunglasses with a black frame, and some sort of reflectiveness on the lens. Beautiful.
Beautiful!
So you've got the beautiful interface going on up here. You're running a nicely neat, trim-fitted, hard shell jacket. What's going on downstairs? Well, okay, stepping back from the deep winter stuff, all right, we're not full deep winter here. We're out in 25 degrees, 98% humidity. What can we do in these circumstances? Well, I can tell you what you won't be doing, and that is running those horrendous wet weather oversized shoe covers. As a general rule, anything beneath your knees that requires a zipper,
these zips are really useful,
is off the market.
I nearly fainted.
That's right, I'm talking to you, Jay Vine. This is an area though we could put a bit of colour. For all of those guys who are hating on me for the black jacket, then this can be your area to run full reflective. Let's go pink, let's go yellow, whatever you need to do to be safe, be seen, all that stuff that we're not too sure about in the fashion world, maybe not. The key though here is you're probably looking at like a sock-based cover, okay? Look, if you're caught in a summer storm, you know, the place up in North New South Wales got a metre of rain in 24 hours, right? Now, I'm not talking about necessarily that, but if you're caught in a proper summer storm, you're gonna get wet. This is why you own a pair of black shoes and white shoes. There you go. So all shoe manufacturers have just gone, go subscribe to this guy's channel. He's saying go out and buy 2 pairs of shoes. But seriously, because it's not a flex, it's not cool to run white shoes in the wet weather. It's just stupid. Stupid, right? Black shoes, just get some black shoes. My 4th tip before we go full scattergun is don't sleep on waterproof gilets. Everyone in the Northern Hemisphere just went, what? Heads exploded because I'm talking about gilets when riding in the wet weather. But hey, so there's a couple of quick ones. Again, I'll just come back to Peddler and Rapha, who are doing some really good ones. So Aquatech gilet, this is that collaboration I was talking about, Aquatech and their gilet here. I actually think that's really cool. And a lot of the time, all you would need to do is just run that with a nice aero jersey underneath. And as long as it's keeping your core dry, then you're in a good place. Now, I was talking about black jackets and that kind of stuff. This is potentially the place that you could run a bit of color if you want, because that's a really cool little interface between the lime green and the jersey. And the Rapha, this is actually the one that I own. And honestly, I think I was riding it in that absolute slop down in Adelaide, in that vlog down there. I was talking quickly a bit about it. And I rode for like 2.5 hours in the rain. And yeah, at the end of it, I was wet. but that's what I was kind of expecting to get out. Enough for those passing showers. Don't sleep on the gilet because also you get this sick look of the unzip. Now, you've heard me talk about this look in the past. This is where layering with colors. You see how he's got the black underjersey, he's got the green, then he's got the blue. You could try that with all different colors. You could try the blue underjersey, blue jersey, white thing on top, play around with some colors in your layering. If you didn't think this was going to be talking about fashion, here I am talking about what to unzip looking like when you're on the bike, as opposed to anything to do with staying dry. So that's the 4 tips. Let's do some scattergun, shall we?
What does this button do?
Do not over chamois cream, ladies and gentlemen, because you may very well foam up.
What did he say?
And if you have ridden behind someone who has started to foam up on a wet day, it's a particularly embarrassing experience for said person, Shawnee B. I'll just leave it at that. What else we got? Embro is absolutely key. There is nothing better than that shiny leg look after a few hours riding in the rain. It's a good hard man kind of look as well. So Embro, definitely. No brainer, I would have thought, but I get into arguments about this with people all the time. No park ups at the end of a slop ride, okay? Half a dozen cyclists slopping on into a cafe, all dripping their mud and gunk all over the place, sitting down, stinking the place up, shouting loudly at each other because they can't hear anything because they had cars passing them in with the rain, and then getting up, walking out and leaving a pile of poo behind them. No, I'm sorry. Just go home and shower and then go meet your friends if that's something you want to do. I don't have friends, so it doesn't really bother me. Next on the list is arse savers are cool. They're cool, they look good, they look fantastic, except when it's 30 degrees on a bluebird day and you still have the arse saver on. That's not cool, okay? So 2 things can be true at the same time. And flexing new kit and stuff on slop days is not cool. Like running your new white shoes, white socks, white team jersey, Jono and Sam, on a slop day it's not cool and it'll piss some people off. But I want to finish up by saying this. Now, I've just had a little bit of fun talking about fashion, how to look good on the bike, but there is another option. There is option, what are we up to, 5? And that is to go full slop. It's raining, it's an East Coast low. You got nice gear, whatever. Don't run any of it. Run literally the worst gear you have. I'm talking about that kit from 1997 that's at the very, very back of the jersey. It's potentially been the kit that's been sitting on your trainer for the last decade. Today's the day for it. Because at the end of the day, you're probably not going to really be riding with anyone anyway. So no one's going to see you. Motorists are just ignoring you. You've got lights on your bike, whatever. That's enough. And there's a certain hard man.
I'm gonna take you down. And I'm gonna take you down hard.
There is a certain hard man aspect to it. So full slop spec, just bring out the old kit, the old Nero racing kit, and go for it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We are back on Fridays. We are talking about fashion, but this is only half the job. All right? I want the rest of the job in the comments section because that's where fashion gets interesting. This is just my opinion. I want to hear your opinions. I don't want to hear, but the flappy jersey does make me feel a bit warmer and cooler. I like the way. No, I don't care.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
We care about how it looks. Okay? All right? Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you really, really soon and hopefully pretty regularly on Friday if I haven't copped enough abuse for these already going forward. Alright guys, take care. Speak soon.